I don't even know if you're from Europe, actually. I thought you were just like an American, honestly.
Yay! Tem assim, uma diversidade enorme de biomas.
You have spoken in 4 languages today.
Surprise!
Hello! Am I good at guessing nationalities? I don't think I am, actually. I wish I could say that I was good at like telling apart accents and stuff, but I can sometimes tell when somebody's not a native English speaker, but that's about it. So we'll see how this goes. Living here in Korea and like working in the YouTube and entertainment space, you do kind of end up meeting a lot of different people from a lot of different countries, but I can never tell where they're from unless I explicitly ask them where they're from. So based just on their accent, it's really difficult for me to tell, oh, this is this person, this is this person. Honestly, even if somebody is not from the US or Canada and they're a native English speaker, I can't tell if they're from England or from Australia or from Ireland sometimes, you know, South Africa. Like I'm not very good at telling apart different accents. By somebody's appearance, I have no idea. Sure, I know where they're from. I can be like, oh yeah, I can kind of see like in your face or like whatever, I can kind of notice that. The best hope that I would have would be the accent on certain words that I have been told are difficult for foreigners to pronounce, such as squirrel or world, anything with that like R and L together. I hear those words are very difficult for non-native speakers to pronounce. So I think that would be my best hope, to kind of see how they pronounce that R and certain vowel sounds that I might be able to pick out. That would be the best bet. By looks, okay. Is this your natural hair color?
It's not.
What's your natural hair color?
Like a dark blonde, a little bit darker than yours, so it's
a little bit darker than mine. Okay. Okay, green eyes. Greenish? Yeah. Green, blue?
blue,
Greenish,
gray,
bluish,
blue.
Yeah, somewhere in there. First impression is Belgium. I don't know necessarily what it is, just something, like there's a vaguely like France, Belgium, that kind of like, I'm getting European vibes. So.
Fancy.
Yeah, I like your outfit.
Thank you.
I love like the little kind of not quite turtleneck deal that you got going on. I love your top. Maybe the earrings, ooh, the earrings might be a hint. I don't know though. I don't know enough about European fashion. I don't even know if you're from Europe, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Belgium. Okay, so can I have your name?
I'm called Anna.
Anna, can I have your last name?
Can I say my last name?
Would that be like a really bad giveaway?
I don't think so, actually.
Okay.
I pronounce it Ruggiero.
Ruggiero, okay, can I have the spelling of that?
Ruggiero.
E-R-O, oh, I see. How many languages do you speak?
Like 3?
Three-ish, okay. Growing up, what was your favorite part of being at home?
Being at home. I say even up to this day, what I like the most about my home country is the people and the food.
And the food, okay. Do you think, would where you're from, would it have like food that a lot of people worldwide would recognize?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Did you enjoy going to the beach in your home country when you were younger?
I did, yeah.
You did, okay. I see. How long have you been studying English?
Since I was young.
Since you were young? Okay, because I thought you were just like an American, honestly.
Yay!
Here we go, US defaultism again. Okay, anyways, from your English accent, I would have no idea. Like I said, I wouldn't even know that you're not American, or that you're not a native English speaker at least. From your last name, I'm assuming it's either gonna be Portugal or Brazil. I'm not sure which one it would be. I don't know any other countries that speak Portuguese. Thinking it's a Portuguese name, judging from the spelling and the pronunciation of it. I'm getting Portuguese from there. So do you like traveling?
I love traveling.
Oh, can I ask what countries you've been to?
I've been to quite a few countries so far. Well, if we're talking about Asia, 중국이랑 일본도 가보고, 어디지? 베트남도 가보고. 한국에서 사니까 여기서. 또.
Did you do a lot of traveling before you came to Korea?
I did. J'ai en fait beaucoup voyagé en Europe. Je suis déjà allée en France, j'ai vécu en Suisse pendant un petit moment, j'ai aussi vécu en Grèce, et puis je suis allée en Espagne, la Belgique aussi, et puis je me rappelle plus, mais j'ai l'Allemagne aussi.
Okay, so a lot of Europe. Okay, so I'm not quite as hot on the Portugal guess anymore, because you said you only spoke 3 languages. You speak Korean, you speak English, and so I'm assuming the third language is, I think that was French, I'm not sure. It could be another Romance language that I'm not aware of. So maybe Portugal is out. Portuguese parents or something, or like a Portuguese. Okay, so out of all the countries that you've been to, what was your favorite country to go to, and why?
Eu acho que vou dizer que dos países que eu gosto mais é o meu país, na verdade. Porque eu amo as pessoas, eu amo a comida.
Hold up. Hold up.
E é um país muito rico, tem assim uma diversidade enorme de biomas.
You have spoken in 4 languages today.
Surprise!
Can you repeat that one more time? I want to see if I can at least hear a country name.
Na verdade, eu não falei o nome do país, eu falei no geral que o país de onde eu venho, é o favorito. É onde eu nasci, é onde eu cresci, eu gosto das pessoas, eu gosto da comida, eu gosto dos lugares.
Was that the same language that you just spoke before?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know my Romance languages well enough.
What makes you think it's a romance language?
Just the general feel of it. Ooh, Romania. Ooh. A little bit of like the rhythm of it almost felt like Italian. Ooh, was it Catalan? Ooh. I don't know what Catalan sounds like though. Ignorant American me. How many languages did you grow up speaking other than English? Like in the home, how many languages did you grow up speaking?
Solamente una.
Okay, just one. I know that much. Is it common for people in your country to speak more than one language?
We do learn a second language, but it's not everybody that knows it. But we get by, I would say, in that other language.
And do most people in your country, do they kind of speak more or less the same language, or there are a lot of really different regional variants?
There's a lot of different variants, yeah.
Are they all mutually intelligible, or are they kind of...
I would say so. Okay. Well, the accents can be different.
Okay, but it's definitely still like communicable.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it might not be Italy then. To my knowledge, Italy has like a lot of different regional languages, and then like Italian was kind of like based on one of those dialects, and then kind of made as like the main language of the country. So it doesn't sound like you're from Italy based on that. Does your country have multiple official languages?
No.
Not Switzerland. Okay.
I have lived in Switzerland.
You have lived in Switzerland. Oh. When you lived in Switzerland, did you have any issues with the languages there? Well, you speak French, so.
I speak French, so.
Okay. There was French there. Which country would you like to visit?
I really want to visit Serbia because my roommate is Serbian.
Oh.
I was like, I don't know any Serbian.
Have you ever been to like Eastern Europe at all before?
I've been to Greece.
How was that?
It was really great. I actually lived there for a little bit.
You've lived in multiple countries, haven't you? What was your favorite place that you lived in?
I think Switzerland. I just love it. The nature is beautiful and it's safe and it's a really...
Switzerland, and like I really want to go to like Austria. I want to go to Germany as well.
Ich habe in Deutschland einen Austausch gemacht.
Ah, sehr gut.
Sehr gut.
Sehr gut. Sehr gut. See, German is one of the languages on my bucket list that I want to learn, but never have gotten around it. I took like 2 years in high school though. 4 years in Latin. That's how I knew the solamente uno.
Aha, that's how I knew.
How's the weather in the country you're from?
O clima varia bastante dependendo da região. No caso, da onde eu sou do interior, então é muito quente. A maior parte do ano.
Yeah, I feel ya. Is your language popular as like a second language for people to learn? If somebody in Korea, just like a random person were to come up to you, start speaking in your language, like a random Korean person, how surprised would you be?
A little bit surprised.
A little bit?
Most times that I hear somebody speaking my language is because they have lived there.
Okay. Are there a lot of foreigners who live in your country?
I think so.
Is this a language that like everybody is kind of like aware of this language, or is it something that maybe some people aren't quite as knowledgeable in?
I think they're all aware of it.
Okay, so it's one of the more popular.
I would think so, yeah.
Can I ask, does your last name have any connection to your home country? Okay. What's your favorite food from home?
A minha comida preferida. Eu não sei se é minha comida preferida, mas uma das é pão de queijo. Ai, que delícia.
If I were just going based off of the language, I wouldn't know just off of the language, but with your last name, I'm gonna guess Portugal. My best guess. Either that. I know it's gotta be some kind of Romance language, because like the tempo of it and like the sounds in it, just every here and there I can like pick out a word just like, oh, I think I kind of understand. So yeah, I'm guessing Portugal. You said that you have been to beaches in your country. Were those ocean beaches?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a lot of shoreline in your country? Ocean shoreline?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a lot of like mountainous terrain in your country?
As well.
So do people go there a lot for like the nature? Like there's a lot of nature, or when tourists come, would it be more for like the cities?
A bit of both.
A bit of both, okay.
Yeah. I think they do come for the nature, but some cities are close to that nature, so they come for that, plus, So it's a mix, I would say.
Would you say your country has like a lot of really famous cities, or is it kind of more focused maybe in the capital?
I wouldn't say the capital.
You wouldn't say the capital?
Yeah, there are more famous cities than...
All right, maybe not Portugal then, because literally the only city I know in Portugal is Lisbon. So would it take you a very long time to get to Madrid from where you live?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so maybe not Portugal. Are there any celebrities from your country that I might know?
I mean, how much can I say here? Because I feel like some of them are gonna be so I think these days a very famous actress is Fernanda.
I don't know celebrities. I'm not very familiar with some. Even in Korea, even in America, I'm not very familiar with some.
Fernanda?
Fernanda. She's an actress. Okay, is she more famous from movies, TV shows, both?
So recently there was this one movie from my home country that won an Oscar.
An Oscar?
Yeah. So they won Best Picture, I think, for international.
Oh, the international category. Okay.
I think so.
Ooh, was it this year?
This year? Yeah, this year.
Oh, do I know? I remember like seeing it and just like, I don't know what that movie is. And then I just kind of moved on. Okay.
I can tell you the name of the movie. I don't think that's gonna... I'm still here.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of back on my... Because it doesn't sound like it would be a Romanian... Because like I was kind of like... Because I don't know what Romanian sounds like, but I'm just like, this doesn't... It's not Spanish, it's not Italian, it's not French. And you said that it was kind of like more in the popular consciousness, so I'm assuming it's not like Occitan or something, or and like it's definitely not Basque. It's got to be Portuguese. But if you have multiple famous cities, and the only other Portuguese-speaking country that I know is Brazil, and I know the capital of Brazil, you never hear about the capital country of Brazil, you always hear about like Sao Paulo or other countries that are not Brasilia. So that's kind of where I'm headed now. I am gonna say Brazil, I think. Are you from Brazil?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Kind of took me a ways to get there, but like, I think the fact that you said that you spoke 3 languages only, then you spoke English, then you spoke Korean, then you spoke French, and so I'm just like, hold up. Because like when you said your name, your last name, like when you said Anna, I was thinking, okay, maybe like Northern Europe, like my mind goes to Frozen, like I think just you kind of, your hair gives Anna. But then you said your last name, and like I heard that ooh at the end of it, I'm just like, that's Portuguese somehow.
Oh yeah,
that's Portuguese
that is
somehow.
true. We do say that.
Yeah, but then you started speaking in another language that definitely was not French. And I was like, okay, so like the rhythm of Portuguese, I didn't realize it had like these, almost like the Italian rhythm where you're like, da 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 da.
I would even say it's even more melodic than Italian.
Yeah.
It's almost like a song.
Yeah, like there very much was like that really delicious kind of like rhythm melody in there that nice. So I'm just like, okay, not Spanish, because it doesn't quite have that crispness of Spanish, I guess you could say. And then like, same with like Italian. I feel like Italian is more of like a very consonant vowel kind of pattern, and it didn't quite feel as clear as that, the language. And so I'm just like, okay. I was really leaning towards Portuguese, but I was like, oh, I have no idea what Romanian would sound like. And like, that's definitely option, but then I think in the end, it really was the name that gave it away.
I could have gone like full-on American, Ruggiero or something.
Ruggiero, yeah.
I can't even say it. It's such a hard name to pronounce in English.
Ruggiero?
Ruggiero. Just sounds like a mumble almost.
Ruggiero, I guess, yeah. See, if you had gone with that, I probably would have gone like, okay, maybe like Italian. Then I would have maybe thought Italian, Spanish. So how many languages do you actually speak for real?
6, although 2 of them, they're a little bit rusty because I haven't practiced in years. So I would say fluently, I speak English, Portuguese, French, and then Korean, I would say intermediate level. And then we have Spanish and German.
Okay.
Like Spanish, I understand pretty much everything. I just struggle to speak because I only learned it for 6 months, and it's so close to Portuguese that I get confused.
Oh yeah. Oh, so when you said 3 languages, they're like the languages that you'd feel comfortable speaking in like right now.
Yeah, fluently, yeah.
I see. See, that's because like your Korean was really good too, so I'm just like, okay, well,
yeah.
Well, hold on.
That would be, 3-ish.
Yeah, 3-ish.
Ish.
Yeah. So how did you learn all those languages? Is it just kind of like you're really interested in learning languages, or was it kind of like a natural part of living in so many countries?
I mean, I do really like learning languages, but it was because I lived abroad. So when I was 11 or 12, I moved to Greece and I went to a French school. So I learned French and Greek.
Okay.
I already forgot Greek, so I don't even count that anymore. And then I moved to Switzerland, where I had to learn, I was living in the French part, but I had to learn German as well.
Okay.
And when I went back to Brazil, I went to a German school, so I had German and Spanish because in Brazil we do learn Spanish.
So then was it like you were being taught in these languages?
I was taught only in French and Portuguese.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like the other languages were just kind of like as a second language.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, I see. Were you moving around with your family or?
Yeah, with my parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not my brothers.
So how many years did you spend
In Europe?
Yeah.
Not too long. So in Europe it was for 3 years, I think, in total.
Okay.
A little bit less than that, actually. Then I moved back. I did an exchange to Germany. I did 2, actually. So in total I was there for maybe like 6 months. And then I also went to the States for, to work at Disney. That was 3 months, and that's pretty much it. And then Korea, and I've been here for 8 years. So.
Oh, okay, cool. I think like overall, like I was pretty sure from the start that it was either gonna be Brazil or Portugal.
Ooh.
Yeah. First reaction would be like Portugal, but then like I also know that there are just like a lot of white people in Brazil. So just like didn't want to entirely cross out that option. I think the nail in the coffin was the last name, and then the one where it was just like the country was when you said the capital was not very popular, because I'm just like, I don't know a single city outside of Lisbon in Portugal. So I'm just like, oh, it's got to be Brazil then. Yeah. I'm sure there are other countries that speak Portuguese because they had an empire.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, like if you go to, for example, Macau, they speak Portuguese there.
Right, yeah.
And then countries in Africa too.
Yeah, you could have pulled out that. I'm actually Chinese.
Surprise! I started getting confused because I had to switch languages and my brain was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I liked the questions, but you were making really good guesses, I think.
Thank you.
So out of all the languages that I spoke, did you understand any of them? And
well, like the little bit of German, like I more or less understood that. Like with the French, I could at least kind of understand like a couple words here and there, but the Portuguese, except for like the solamente una, like that was the only one.
But that was Spanish, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What would that be in Portuguese?
Somente uma is also an option, but I would say só uma.
Yeah, so I feel like if I were to read it, I would be able to pick out words, but like whenever I hear Portuguese and then like actually read, like when I kind of match it, I'm just like, this does not at all match up in my brain.
Yeah, I mean, we do pronounce it differently than how we write it.
Doesn't like Brazilian Portuguese kind of like, isn't the pronunciation all very different from Portugal? Yeah.
Quite different. I even struggle to understand Portuguese from Portugal sometimes.
Yeah, I heard that like the grammar is really different too.
Grammar is different, vocabulary is different, and like the accent is, for me when I hear Portuguese accent, is very thick, so I have to focus.
As a polyglot who speaks 6 languages on a good day, what would you say the secret to learning and maintaining so many languages is?
It's honestly just speaking it. Meeting native speakers and not being afraid to speak even though you don't know it that well. Just try and keep trying and keep speaking. That's the best thing out of it. It's better than sitting down and learning grammar and, spending hours at a desk. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's really just living it.
The key to sticking with it a long time, definitely,
Today I try to hide my nationality by speaking 6 different languages.
If you enjoyed this video today, make sure to like, subscribe, and also leave a comment down below.
See you next time. Bye.